Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Bismillah. Alhamdulillah. Wassalatu wassalam ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. If you've always wanted to teach Arabic, after learning, if you want to teach and develop as a career, maybe as a part-time job or as a full-time job, or you want to enjoy teaching Arabic, you like teaching Nahwu, Sarf, vocabulary, or you want to teach speaking Arabic. So all of these, there might be some pitfalls, some challenges, what you should be careful about, right? How do you teach? How do you start teaching in this field? There might be several questions in your mind. So I have, started teaching Arabic since the last 6 years, alhamdulillah. It just happened. I did not plan it out. Subhanallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guided it slowly. It just qaddarallahu wa ma sha'a fa'al, alhamdulillah. So I just wanted to make a video where you can understand like what goes on into Arabic teaching, because I got a message and I got a call also from one of the sheikhs who's a graduate from Medina, and he was like, how should I start, and how should I go about, because he was tired of working offline in organization, because those organizations, they do not pay you well, or they do not pay you on time, and they are a lot of bossy, right? There are a lot of challenges obviously working in an organization. So how do you start it? Maybe as a side job also, you start, or how do you start an online institute? I mean, how do you do that? So I just wanted to share my experience on how do you start teaching or learning Arabic, inshallah ta'ala. And it takes time, obviously. It takes a lot of practice and a lot of things you have to consider. So I am actually an accountant. Last 12 years ago, or actually 11 years ago, I finished, alhamdulillah, my chartered accountancy course. And then accountancy, how it is, you have to write interest and riba, and a lot of challenges. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guided me to become a full-time Islamic student. So I did my Bachelor of Arts in Islamic Studies in IOU, and then I didn't know what to do. So one of the sheikhs in his institute, or in his organization, he gave me an opportunity to teach. Alhamdulillah, he helped me in marketing. So I got around 5 or 6 students, alhamdulillah. 3 of them stuck around, and I was able to teach Medina books in 100 hours. They didn't finish maybe book 3, but alhamdulillah, they've reached a good level. Because of those 3 students, I was like, I got the confidence, because I didn't know how to teach that time itself. So I was like learning a lesson and then teaching after that. Alhamdulillah, then Zoom started, and Zoom was good, and it had good recording also. So I started putting on Arabic. I started a batch, just in contacts. I just forwarded and said there's a batch and this is the fees and whatnot. And alhamdulillah, somehow I got students. I got a sponsor for those students also, if the students cannot pay, alhamdulillah. And then that batch, you can see the old batch, 2018 batch is the batch there. First I did a batch in Urdu, then in English. Alhamdulillah, somehow Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent me students, and that's how then I started, okay, Medina books, I'm tired of teaching this book, I should start some other books also. So I went into Al Benedict and other books and other courses which you've seen now, 20-25 books which I'm doing now, just to have the passion to create, to increase my knowledge also, and to teach better books, and inshallah to keep going. So this is, I thought, it was necessary for me to give a background of mine, because if you don't understand from where I'm coming, you might not, and now I've decided since last year to completely do it full time, alhamdulillah. I joined a school also, by the way. I taught there 5 years, alhamdulillah. That was a good experience to teach kids also. So we'll go into that also. How is the experience teaching children, and how is it teaching adults, inshallah ta'ala. So there are several topics, inshallah, we'll discuss. Full or part-time, Fusha, dialect, children or adult, grammar or vocab, online, what equipment do you require, should you do free or paid, how do you balance between that, inshallah. And language, obviously there's a lot we can talk about, and which language should you teach it. There's a lot we can talk about these things, but these are just some thoughts which I've made it like a flowchart kind of mind map kind of thing, to help me organize what I'm talking about, inshallah ta'ala. about teaching. It might be a little long, obviously, like I'm an over explainer. If you've noticed, all my videos are over explaining everything. So this also I'll try to explain slowly and try to explain everything, inshallah ta'ala. So let's start with, this is the first thing. Should you do a full or part-time job? Full or part-time job is the question. I would always recommend starting as a side job. I'm not talking about those students who are already Medina graduates or who are graduates from any university, or they're Arabs themselves. For them, they can start fully because that's their whole career. But people who want to take pivot from their careers, like you're an accountant, engineer, software engineer, and you want to teach Arabic or any other Islamic studies, you want to become a student of knowledge and become a full-time student of knowledge, don't start like that. Start with something like a side job. Like alhamdulillah, I had a backing of financial, and that's why alhamdulillah I was able to do is to get rents, and alhamdulillah we get rents still now. So it was not that, and I wasn't married that time. So alhamdulillah I was able to spend 4 years full-time study Islamic study and totally pivot into change my career kind of from an accountant to Arabic as such. I didn't know what I do at that time, but alhamdulillah now Arabic such a base, you start your career with that. So start with something as a side job. How you're doing a job, find someone to teach, right? So you go as a side job, and then you find someone that you can focus on perfecting a book. Like generally what happens is students, they do Medina books, and then they try to become good at it, and then start teaching it in a masjid. They start to find an offline place, or you can start online by creating small videos, right? Don't be scared like I'll make mistakes and all that. Yes, obviously you'll make mistakes, but take a phone, don't put your face in it. Just start with audio and start online. You should at least teach it once or twice, to get a good grip, especially from Medina book 1 to book 3, or Albe Benedek. You should have at least for the 4 books, so that is book 1A, 1B, 2A, 2B, or any other book which you want to focus on a book, right? Which will be good as a side job. As a side job, you can start and focus on a book and start teaching chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. That makes you get more confidence also. Start as a side job. That's what I started. I was teaching in a school, same thing. I was making videos, and I had a batch in the evening, so that gave me a lot of practice in just one book. I was not jumping around. I was not doing multiple books. I was just doing this one book. Alhamdulillah, that is Medina books, and you can say my whole channel is based on that, because that's the book I have, alhamdulillah, done it well. Alhamdulillah, just Medina books and no other book. Inshallah, slowly we will increase our books. So the thing with this as a side job is you should not chew more than you can or bite more than you can chew, whatever you say. That means you should not go into other fields. You should not talk about fiqh or aqidah or this thing if you don't have any knowledge about. That's the most dangerous thing as a side job. You should just stick to this book and talk about this thing, right? It's easy to slip into other things also because it's not your field. So you should be very careful, especially if you don't have a degree in Islamic studies, if you don't have a degree in any place, because people generally, they are a hafiz, for example, and they start talking about ilm, which they have no knowledge about, and they start making mistakes. I mean, they are well-intentioned, they have good intention, well-intentioned people, but obviously it's not your field, so obviously you'll make mistake. So alhamdulillah, I had a degree in Islamic studies, so alhamdulillah my mistakes might be a little less, inshallah. I hope so, inshallah. But there might be mistakes. Obviously you'll make mistakes. If somebody wants to start and make a video of exposed Arabic enthusiasts, they can, because they might find various mistakes in ayat, mistakes in ahadith, and so on, which I have not edited at all. So astaghfirullah, may Allah forgive all of our mistakes. So yes, so this is as a start, as a side job. So you get to know, do you really like teaching or not, right? Do you really like teaching? Do you really want to teach? Because teaching is not for everybody, right? Teaching is not for all of us. It's only some people can teach, right? Because some people they're good at learning, but for teaching, it requires special skill set. Alhamdulillah, some people like teaching, and alhamdulillah, that's good. So if you're one of them, how do you know that? Can you actually teach? It's not like you quit your job and there's no financial income, your wife, children, everything, and I want to teach Arabic, or I want to teach Islamic studies, I want to teach Aqidah, Sharia. Well, these are not fields where you can earn money as such from. Inshallah, Allah makes sources, other sources, but this is Islamic studies, this is Islam, and it's a little difficult to crack, the financial side of things, because obviously it's a test. So start as a side job, perfect a book, start online, start teaching online. That will inshallah help you out. And then full time. Now you want to do a full time job. Obviously, you should have a degree in that, right? Offline. So if you want to start full time offline, like I'm going to leave my job totally, start offline. So how do you do that? If you have a degree, it's easier to do. So try to get a degree. You can get a Master of Arts in Islamic Studies, or be bachelor's also, it's fine. If you want to just focus on Arabic, you can do a Master's in Arabic also, or bachelor's in Arabic, whichever colleges are available or universities are available. I don't have a Master's or bachelor's in Arabic. I just have it in Islamic Studies. So my teaching of Arabic is more Islamic focused, because that's what I want to teach. I want to teach Arabic. Inshallah, we'll come to that also. But as Islamic Fusha, as Quran, Hadith, Islamic books, scholars, that's my goal, and that's what I want to teach, because that's what I'm passionate about. Islamic studies. I want to teach Aqidah, Fiqh, and all of the subjects in Islamic sciences, because that's my goal. So why is it called Arabic enthusiast and not called Islamic enthusiast? Islamic studies enthusiast, because Arabic is a base. And I want to build a base for you, and then build upon the Quran, Hadith, and so on. And then, alhamdulillah, read books of big scholars, inshallah, Shaykh Uthaymeen, of contemporary scholars, and then work towards it. That's what is my goal. Islamic studies. It's not like general Arabic, which is secular Arabic, which will come to that. It's not something bad about it. If you want to teach secular Arabic, that's also, alhamdulillah, that's good. But yeah, so you should have a degree, and it's easier to do that, alhamdulillah, when you have a degree. If you don't have a degree, it's difficult to get acceptance in offline. This is offline, right? This is offline, because you have to rent a place on your own. You have to go to masjids, and they might accept you, they might not accept you. And first 2 batches of just experiments, because you have to know what works and what doesn't work. Medina books, and can I teach, and will that batch finish? Because many scholars have tried, even they have degrees and all that, in offline batches, everyone disappears. Inshallah, we'll come to group classes issues also, but everyone disappears, because Arabic is something, it filters out people. Out of 100, only 3 come out, or 2 come out. That's maybe 10 come out, if you are being optimistic. So all Islamic studies teaching also, because there's deen attached to it. There's no dunya aspect to it. If you're teaching software or English, for example, you'll be very famous, you'll become very rich, and you get those opportunities. Like, I can teach English, but I don't want to go into that field, because I want to specialize only in Arabic teaching, inshallah ta'ala. I just don't want to go into that, because I should be convinced of a method to teach also, right? I don't want to teach which I'm not convinced of. So if I find a way of teaching English which I'm convinced that it works, then only I'll teach. Like Arabic, I know Medina books, because that's why I learned through that way. English I've not learned that way. English I've just learned being in an English medium school and since childhood, right? So I don't know of a way to teach, but I don't want to go into that, because like I said, Islamic focus is my goal. So offline is, you can treat it as a startup. You have to hire a place, start, and then market it. A lot of marketing. It's difficult. You don't have a degree, so why would people come to you? You don't have anything to say that all right, this is what I want to do. Why should people come to you? Your doctor or whatever. Alhamdulillah, there are doctors. I think I've heard one doctor who's teaching in massages. Alhamdulillah. So if you have connections and all that, you can start teaching. But how do you know that? You can start teaching, inshallah. There's no problem. The third thing offline is, you can join an organization. If somebody accepts you in a school or college to teach Arabic, so you've learned Medina book 1, start teaching Medina book 1, and you'll get to know whether you like teaching or not, right? So this is offline. There might be a lot of challenges. Good for extroverts, because they'll have a lot of contacts. They can go and promote themselves, right? I want to teach Arabic, and this is what I'm going to do, inshallah. That is good for those people. So full time online, right? This is what many people ask. How do you do online teaching? Right now, there are several ways you can do online classes. One is group classes, and we find so many group classes coming up. This institute, that institute, and so many group classes. Alhamdulillah, that is really good. But what should you do for group classes? Well, the fees should be upfront. Generally, group classes, what they do, you pay a one-time fee, khalas. That's it. It's done. Whatever fees you want to put, because slowly, inshallah, we'll talk about fees maybe a little more. But here, what I'm saying is fees, you should be something reasonable in starting because you want to experience, right? Put some fees. You can do free also, but hardly anyone joins. So maybe one batch you can do free in online, and then you'll get you have to do a lot of marketing, put it in groups, WhatsApp groups, and this, that. If you're good at marketing, group classes is for you. And I'm not good at marketing. So group classes not, not good in the sense I don't want to do marketing as such. I believe in word of mouth more, inshallah. So fees should be upfront, because what happens is if you do monthly fees or pay it in installments and whatnot, people don't pay. People don't pay, because they'll have an initial zeal of learning Arabic, and then the zeal goes away. So you become a collector of a landlord or something. You have to keep calling them, keep messaging, please pay the fees, and they'll say, I'm sorry, I cannot pay the fees, or I'm not attending classes or whatnot. But the good thing is scholarships can be taken. Alhamdulillah, you get some students, alhamdulillah, who want to sponsor like 5 students or 10 students, alhamdulillah. And that's how, alhamdulillah, group classes, that's the benefit. You get one-time fees, alhamdulillah, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends some sponsors for scholarships. Then alhamdulillah. And this has made my group classes run till now, right? There was one student in the Urdu one, in the English one also there was a student who sponsored like 5-6 students, alhamdulillah. So you get the fees, and they pay the fees for all of them, alhamdulillah. Even the recent Arabic and Edec batch, alhamdulillah, one student paid for many students, like 6-7 students, alhamdulillah. So alhamdulillah, that is a good thing of scholarships. But what happens is students are not interested. Students who get the scholarships, they themselves drop out or quit. Although I ask them, please, if you want scholarship, please attend the classes, please come and all that. Hardly anything, because online there's nothing to lose, right? Even in offline they don't come anyways, because Arabic, like we said, it sorts out people. But scholarships can be taken, alhamdulillah. Financial issues, group classes can be done. Group classes require a lot of marketing. You need to run ads or whatever you want to do, right? You have to do that, because there's a sheikh also who's trying to run online classes, some academy online, where he calls scholars and puts minimal fees, but that also goes into loss, right? Online, because students don't come. Even if they come, they don't want to pay even a minimal fees of 100 rupees or whatever, like $10, $20, $15. No, they don't want to pay. They want to make it free. So how do you pay for the scholars' time, and how do you manage everything, right? It's very difficult to run an academy. You should do a lot of marketing, because people don't trust. Inshallah, we'll come to that also. Language also has a factor in it. People don't trust anyone, because there's so many academies, there's so many teachers and all that. How do you make that trust of the, this thing? Do you cold call them? Do you call them, and so on? For group classes also, you need a pro version of Zoom. Alhamdulillah, I have a sponsor. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant him long life, and inshallah fit ta'ah. Alhamdulillah, because 40 minutes get cancelled, and you should run only 30-minute classes. But yes, 40 minutes, and then you have to wait for 15 minutes. Or you can do it on Meets also, but I've not used Google Meet a lot, so I don't know any other thing. But I just use Zoom, alhamdulillah, because of a sponsor, which is an annual sponsor of around $200, alhamdulillah. Good strategy which I used to do which I keep doing, is record the group classes, right? But the issue is that if you have some sisters and all that, their voice also comes into the classes, so you should ban sisters from speaking. It's not an women's voice is not an aura as per the correct opinion, but still, you don't want your classes to be people listening to like that. You don't want that. It's not good. Allahu alam. But yes, so you should record the classes, but students cannot speak, and that's an issue. So you might become banned or something. Somebody might say, oh, this is a scandal or something, right? SubhanAllah. May Allah protect all of us, which is very common on YouTube and all that. And most of the time people stop coming in groups. They don't come in groups. They stop coming in groups, and they're unable to finish a batch. Ultimately what happens is, most of the batches is none of them come. Right, none of them come. It dissolves. They don't even say I'm not coming. Imagine that. Maybe only to meet happens, but subhanallah, they don't even say, and it's just silence. They are still in the group, in WhatsApp group or whatever. It's just silence. I message, okay, this is the class. Maybe it's a fault of mine because I'm not too involving. Maybe I'm just very strict, or I don't know, too introvert for them. But that's how it happens. The batch just fizzles out. Subhanallah. I don't know. Maybe other people can manage it better. And a lot of energy is required also. And group batches cannot be taken. Like, I want to take 7 group batches in a day. You cannot do that. I mean, you could maybe. I cannot do that because you need a lot of energy because you're the one who's speaking, right? Your voice will go away. You have to take care about your vocal cords also, right? You cannot just, keep speaking for the whole day, especially online. Offline doesn't require that much energy. You see, it's been 20 minutes. I've been speaking non-stop, right? I'll be like gone after I finish this video. My voice will be very tired. Because in offline, what I do, I keep asking questions of others, there's interaction and all that. Online, group classes are very tiring. That's why the fees is there, right? So a lot of energy is required. So this is what about group classes. Sorry, I'm yapping around, but I think it's necessary, I guess. I don't know. If I don't speak, I don't speak. If I speak a lot. Astaghfirullah. One-on-one classes, how do you do? This is the best which has worked for me, alhamdulillah, one-on-one classes. This is in lockdown, alhamdulillah, because I realized my school salary was halved, and I just put a message that anyone interested in one-on-one classes, please join. Alhamdulillah, many students joined from various places. So this is where introverts can focus more on one-on-one classes. This is where you can earn kind of money. Why? Because you can charge from $5 to $10 according to per hour. You can charge per hour. This, alhamdulillah, for Indians per hour 700 rupees is not bad, no? Alhamdulillah. And if you get like 80-20, you can get like 20% good students, right, who are ready to pay. They take 3 slots per week, so that's $30 per week. Alhamdulillah. It depends. Obviously, there's a lot of demand and supply you need to cater, and you need to think about, okay, should I increase the fees, should I decrease it, and so on. So you have to keep playing around with the fees, because ultimately sometimes what happens is some season after Ramadan or after Eid, you have a lot of students, so you can increase the fees so that what's worthwhile to you. Like $5 was worthwhile to me 5 years back, but now alhamdulillah, a lot of experience and all that, now 10 is worthwhile for me, right? $10 per hour or per 45 minutes is what I take. Per hour is too tiring for me, so I've half an hour is too early. Like, I just finished like half an hour, just too fast. So 45 is the sweet spot which I found for my sessions, which I'm not tired so much, and the student is also, he thinks he has gotten enough. So that is, the session which I have, alhamdulillah, which I have sessions which I schedule it. Generally, I start with, don't start giving all slots. Slots in the sense, the 45-minute session. Like, I am free from 12 to 25, 45, I made a slot. Okay, this is the time I'm going to do. Like, until Dhuhr, I don't take any slots as such. Or maybe sometimes I take after Fajr. But from Dhuhr onwards, I'm free for slots. Right? So I have slots sometimes at 2 o'clock, sometimes at 4 o'clock, and sometimes after Maghrib and after Isha. And just now I finished the slot. So I just made, this. I was making this since a while. So I just made this. I'm recording now. So these are slots which I've divided. So you can give slots accordingly, session slots, and don't give, that's what I'm saying, is don't give all the slots at one time, right? You give all the slot, what happens is next month he disappears. So your fees is gone, right? You don't get it next month. So try to manage it out. Try to give max 3 slots to a student. If you give all of the students now, you should test the student also, because you'll find many people who are big claimants, like they claim, I will study with you for 5 years, 10 years. Within 2 months they're gone, right? Don't trust these students or any student as such, because online is like that. We think I'll do so many free courses, right, on YouTube or Coursera or EDX or whatever websites, this MOOC, massive online courses. We think we'll finish those courses. Next day you forget, right, about those courses. I'm enrolled in so many free courses, but we don't finish most of them, right? So that's how it is. So don't trust anyone, because that's how life is online. So even in offline also, it's like that. And fees should be taken upfront, because many students, they study for you and then they disappear. You have to keep calling them and this, that. Alhamdulillah, it has never happened for me. I've always made it clear that I'll take it upfront. right? You want to join, this is my conditions, and I have terms of conditions. I have a photo also, like I've written down all the conditions and all that. A message is there which I send on WhatsApp, that like I won't come, and sometimes they miss the classes and then they expect me to, I'm waiting for them, and they don't pay for it, right? So I'm like, if I miss, you can deduct, but if you miss, it's for my time, it's not for this thing. You can make your fees, inshallah, based on your time or based on the number of students. Generally I based it on time. Even if you want me to take 10 students in your group or whatever your friend circle, I'll say the exact same fees. I don't take according to students. What happens with students is, well, if you have 10 students, most of them will quit, and if you have monthly fees and all that, then they don't pay anyways. You'll get a good fee in the first month, second month, third month onwards, everyone will quit, and that's what happens. And that's why many friends, they say, oh, we will join together and all that. It doesn't run 3 months, 4 months max, and then they join, because you need one-on-one classes. Only one student joins and he says, I want to join, that's it, right? And marketing is an issue here. Many people want to start one-on-one classes because there's good fees and all that, but how do people trust you? People won't trust you. Why would they trust you, right? So alhamdulillah, how do I get students? Through YouTube. I don't put a post as such, and alhamdulillah, I get it through YouTube. And from my website, I made a free website. Alhamdulillah, I got a sponsor for that also. $20 per year or something, or $80 per year, $120 per year. So alhamdulillah, he sponsors the website. So alhamdulillah, because there were ads running previously, I just made a free WordPress website. So inshallah, it was a free website, and he said there are ads. I said, you have to pay for the domain. So alhamdulillah, we are paying for the domain. Alhamdulillah, I don't remember, maybe $120 per year. Alhamdulillah, he pays every December. Alhamdulillah, he paid for 2 years till now. Alhamdulillah. So through the website, because I put a lot of free content there, people know who I am, and people, alhamdulillah, they've watched my videos, and alhamdulillah, so that's how they realize, okay, videos are not working for me. Let's go and try one-on-one classes. Alhamdulillah, that's my main source of income. Alhamdulillah, as of now, since the last 2-3 years. Alhamdulillah. So how do you market it? So one way of marketing is putting reels on Instagram or Facebook or one-on-one classes. I don't want to do that. You need a lot of money for that. So yeah, if you don't do marketing, it's gone. You need to focus a lot online marketing. Online, you should print a lot of money. You need to put in starting for marketing, at least till you get 2, 3, 4 students. Outside the masjid, you need to distribute pamphlets. You should promote yourself, show yourself, wear nice clothes when you're making videos, because you have to promote yourself based on your status, kind of. So you have to promote yourself as an Arabic teacher and all that. You can't wear like a t-shirt, because I don't care much of wardrobe and all that. I'm just in my tees, and I just make a video without much getting ready and all that. So it's good for people who market a lot. Same thing here, alhamdulillah, because you can either market through your skill or market through your appearance, like show like student of knowledge and something like that. You can do that. People do that, right? Alhamdulillah. So that's good. And the next thing is, one-on-one classes, you can do 7 in a day also. How? First thing is, you treat it like a group class. Don't do that, because that will take a lot of energy for you. You have to speak in the group class also. I mean, one-on-one classes also, you're speaking 45 minutes. It's like very difficult. So what you need to do is make the students read, and that's the best way, I believe, to teach is through reading. Inshallah, we'll get to that grammar. This through reading. Make them read and translate, read, because grammar, it's very difficult to teach online. They will keep forgetting. Even marfu, mansu, majroor, they'll keep forgetting. What is marfu? It has dhamma at the end. Mansu, what? It has fatha. Majroor, it has kasra. That also they'll forget, because most of the students which I get, are well established in their careers. We'll come to that, but so they never do homework. They don't touch the book. They don't do anything. They just come to the class. They don't do anything apart from the class, illa mashallah, except a few. So I make the students read the text, maybe read 1 or twice or thrice, and if you're able to translate, alhamdulillah, that's good. Right? Meaning is paramount in what I teach. Like, if you're able to understand meaning, grammar doesn't matter. Like English, how much grammar do you know? You're able to read this, alhamdulillah. You're able to speak, alhamdulillah, that's fine. So less energy is required, is what I'm saying. Like, I just had a session where they were just reading and just corrected, this is the mistake, or if they asked a doubt, I would say. So it's not like 45 minutes I have to teach. It's like supervision, kind of, correcting. The student is reading and you listen, alhamdulillah. Because the money is for my time, not for me speaking 45 minutes. It's for you organizing stuff, because if you do it on your own, you'll not be able to do it, right? So alhamdulillah, that is for one-on-one classes. I just wanted to specify. Then another way is through own websites, and these are those scholars who've come up from Medina or other places, and they create websites. They have a lot of investors or whatever. They create it and have to treat it like a business, like a lot of marketing. You have to promote, create, you have to do influencing, create a lot of reels and say, Hada kitabu. No, you see many people like that. No? They create influencing. Ultimately, what's the point of the influencing is what? People get to know Arabic, alhamdulillah. But ultimately, if you want more, join our course. If you want more, join our website. Alhamdulillah, that's good. Right? Promoting videos and ads. Maybe I'll also become like that later on, but I don't know. But it requires a long-term platform. It creates, a good platform. If you have an investor or whatever, alhamdulillah, you can start this. But again, marketing is a key. Online business is all about marketing. And it's very risky to start in the beginning because it's a cash cow. It requires a lot of cash. You have to maintain this, that, those, that, and for long term, it becomes very difficult. I mean, 15 years, 20 years, who knows, you might stay or not, because you're going 0 to 100 in just one. You grow very fast, you'll fall very fast. Mine is incremental growth. I grow slowly, inshallah, and then maybe I reach in a better place, inshallah. I don't know, but this is my way. I don't go very fast in the starting. I mean, I'm a marathon runner. Slow. One video a day I create on YouTube, or one class. Alhamdulillah, inshallah, we hope that we sustain and we stick in this field, inshallah ta'ala, to make it sustainable. So this was all about full part-time job, which was the biggest thing, and I've taken half an hour. Astaghfirullah. Then Fusha dialect. Now this is also a challenge, because you obviously, as a student of knowledge, you will teach Fusha, classical Arabic, or will you teach a dialect? Dialect to those who want to teach, for students who are going to Dubai, or especially in India, they go to Dubai or Saudi and they want to learn quickly in 3 months and all that. And there are institutes here which do that. They teach you Saudi dialect. I mean, they don't teach you that actually, because they are mostly marketing. We will teach you that, and they teach what hada kitabun zalika baytun, and that guy thinks, oh, I've learned everything. I've learned the dialect. But he doesn't learn actually. He just learns from Medina books and all that, because many of those who market themselves as gurus, Arabic gurus or English gurus, their Arabic themselves is bad. I mean, that's the way of earning money. Alhamdulillah, they charge huge fees and all that. So you can do that at immigration services, but be genuine, obviously. Be genuine. Actually teach them a dialect which will be beneficial to them. Don't just fleece people, because you find them all the places, even in Arabic also, you find that service. And I got calls also for that, and student want to learn. I was not interested, because my focus, like I said, Islamic studies focus is Fusha. I don't want to maybe go into that immigration service, like you can join some passport office, all this, whatever these offices are there, no, immigration services. You want to go to Gulf, or khalas, we'll teach you Arabic also in 2 months. So you have to go every day, institute kind of. That is the immigration service. There's a lot of money there, by the way. If you establish yourself, there's a lot of money there. In that, from what I've seen, if you become successful in that, you can charge a lot of money, $500 of something people charge sometimes, just for teaching basic Arabic. But yeah, what is this? Own website is also done now. So this is about Fusha dialect. Obviously, for my goal is my channel, inshallah. I have started a video on dialect just for fun. It's not as serious Gulf Arabic, but just for me to learn also. By teaching, but my focus is obviously on Fusha, because we want to revive Fusha, go back to the original Fusha, inshallah ta'ala. Then, will you teach children or adults? And this is the third thing. Will you teach children or adults? Obviously, when you join a school, you have to teach children. It requires a lot of energy. Children generally don't understand a lot of grammar, right? They have difficulty understanding grammar. So what do you have to do? You have to make it enjoyable, try a lot, make them memorize stuff. You can teach a little bit grammar, but you should be more, I believe, in vocabulary focus, because they have a lot of memory. They'll say like, we just want to memorize it. Don't explain it. That's what they say. And especially online teaching, I don't take children as such online teaching, because it's very tiring. They should be self-sufficient students. Then I teach. I have very few children, like whose parents have forced me and all that. And then they are self-sufficient. They just come, read and go. I don't have to manage discipline and all that. So because your ultimate focus will go on teaching discipline and all that. And I'm not a kids guy, kind of children loving, For women, maybe it's better. Alhamdulillah, teaching children is better because they can manage, children. Be quiet, be this, and do that. Inshallah. I teach mostly adults, so that's my experience. Mostly online, that is. Offline, whoever comes, I'm ready to teach. Online, I teach adults as such because it doesn't require much energy. They're disciplined, obviously, alhamdulillah, and they're paying students also. They pay better. The children, they want to. The parents generally they say, "Oh, what? Pay $10 for 5 sessions or 10 sessions, right?" They want to pay for the whole month, and they expect you to take. 8 days, all days for kids. Oh, my kid is free from 5 to 5:30. Just take them. What? This is online. They don't understand. This is not like offline. Online, I need to log in and to have that energy and I have to listen to him and patiently. There's a lot of heavy. It's, at least for introverts, it's very heavy for me. So they don't understand this. They say it's what? You're just sitting online, sitting at home, and then what? Because I have to be alert for half an hour, find mistakes and all that. I can't just laze around, right? I try to give you quality. I listen every second of yours. Correct? There might be teachers who just let the student read whatever and they might ignore. Even it happens to me also, but I try to, listen and try to correct and give advices which I feel is the most correct. So, alhamdulillah, so adults, they don't require, they're better paying because they're well settled in their careers mostly. You get 30, 35s, alhamdulillah, so they can have for a long time because young people, they're unable to pay and they quit very quickly. 20s, 15s, 18s, all those very quickly. They end. So alhamdulillah, my longest 5-6 years who have been there, alhamdulillah, people who are well settled everywhere and they're learning as without any end goal. Alhamdulillah, their wife, children and everything. So alhamdulillah, 5-6 years they just dedicate this slot like gym, like I want to learn. Alhamdulillah, 5-6 years, alhamdulillah, they've finished Madina books and other books they are reading now, alhamdulillah. And marketing is an issue as well. Everything is marketing related, astaghfirullah. But without marketing, what happens here? How do people know that? Then should you teach grammar focus or vocab focus? There are people who just want to teach grammar, right? It becomes very heavy. Like Indians in other countries, they teach a lot of grammar. So the student becomes theoretically good, but he finds it difficult. So I'm not a big fan of only grammar. But doesn't Madina book have grammar? That is applied grammar. We'll come to that. Then there are some websites and others which are vocab focused. They'll teach only vocabs, and this is a problem. You have to make the students, if you're good with that, that's fine, but you have to make the students memorize a lot of vocabs, and grammar takes a back seat. So a person is not able to understand even Madi or Mudar. Is it past tense or present tense? He just memorize. And if he doesn't memorize, you can blame the student. That's what happens in many websites and all that. They blame the student. You didn't memorize, so it's not a problem with our program. It's a problem with you. You are not dedicated. You don't deserve to learn Arabic, and so on. And it's good for kids as such. You can have group and make them learn vocabs and how to speak and all that. And the student gets a lot of this thing motivation to learn Arabic. And so I have to do a lot of follow up with the students. Did you memorize this 50 words which I gave you? And if you're good with that, alhamdulillah, that's a good way for vocabulary, because vocabulary is also essential. So that's a mix which is in applied grammar, where the focus is on reading. This is what I generally feel, because that's how I learn the language. So reading the language, or speaking. If you like speaking, I didn't focus much on speaking, but because I don't have an environment, I don't care about speaking. I'm concerned about reading. So through reading, your grammar gets internalized because you read a lot, as well as your vocabulary gets internalized by multiple. So if you read to a teacher and you keep translating, this is the word, this, it becomes easier. Maktab, for example, today you learned it's a table, and tomorrow it will become a table. You get used to it. Hadha ke maktabun. So learning through reading is what I do. Then online equipment, what do you require? You can start with the phone, although it's difficult, right? If you don't have a PC or whatever, it's very difficult with phone. How much you cannot even record as such. You need a phone recording, but people are teaching through phones. It comes down to marketing again. If you're able to get students, whatever equipment is fine. I keep getting requests. Can you find a student for me? Can you find a student? How do I find a student? Because I don't market. Subhanallah. Sometimes you have to share your screen like I'm doing here. You have to share. So you have to have a good PC if you want to do it online. Zoom subscription also can help because it helps in taking long. And you can annotate on screen also. Right? You can write on screen in Zoom. This is not through Zoom, but although I can write because there's a this thing called draw on OBS. This is OBS, by the way, I'm recording. So you can draw here and through OBS. But this is another window. I'm using another window kind of. I'm not doing anything. So yeah, this OBS can also be done, but it's difficult to annotate. You need another window on the interface I'm writing. I'm not writing on the screen itself. You can get a tab also to write if you have good handwriting. My handwriting is very bad, so I don't write on screen with using a tab. But although I have a tab. And then a good mic is essential. Audio is very important than video. If you don't have a good mic, or sometimes my audio is also bad. I don't know how this audio is, but a good mic is better. This also is a sponsor. The webcam is also a sponsor. Alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave. This chair is also sponsored by you guys. So everything is a sponsor. Alhamdulillah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless all of them. So, the light is a sponsor, I believe, also. I just put a message on YouTube and alhamdulillah they've sent. So you can just start with audio and later transition to video like I did. I just started with audio and then I started realizing maybe I can do video also. I can get the confidence for that. Alhamdulillah. Then should you do free or paid? Free? Who's going to teach for free? Yes. If you have the Islamic angle and for ajr and all, alhamdulillah, free is good. If you have a backup of this thing, and alhamdulillah, that is a great thing. So that's what my goal is, to teach offline free, because I'm in India and they don't pay as such. In the masjids and all that, it should be free. But so, alhamdulillah, I get paid somehow. Some sponsor comes and pays, alhamdulillah. Not maybe a lot, but alhamdulillah, I get paid. So you should start out by free. Why? You get experience, right? You get experience and free students. But what happens is free students do not value your time and they will quit easily, right? They will quit easily because they like, it's free anyways. So if you market a lot, yes, you might get free students, but none of them come out. Only few of them attend. And one-on-one session especially becomes tiresome, especially online, if it is free. So I get students. I can't pay the fees, right? Can you teach me for free? I'm like, yes, I'm going to teach for free. But I have only one condition. You'll be like, what's the condition? The condition is that the student should attend on time, right? So you should attend. If 10 a.m. is the class, you should message me on WhatsApp on 10 a.m. exact, or maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. But you should message me, Assalamu alaikum. Then I'll reply, wa alaikum salam. Yes, I'm starting the Zoom session. And that condition they don't fulfill. I'm like, I'll teach you for free, inshallah. If you show me your dedication, inshallah, I'm going to teach for free. But they don't do that, most of them. I mean, none of them stuck. Maybe 1 month student stuck. They stop messaging it. They don't remember at all. Oh, today's Friday, 10 a.m. I have a session. Right? With the teacher. No, they forget everything. And they're like, oh, you should have reminded me Friday. I'm like, why should I remind you? I don't get fees from you. And you're not even dedicated. I should be behind you. SubhanAllah. I mean, if you pay me the fees, yes. Obviously, I will message you. Inshallah, I'll remind you because I'm getting fees from you. Astaghfirullah. No, do it for Ajr. Obviously, I'll do it for Ajr. But how long can this run? Right? I cannot show, I cannot do it. It's very tiring for me, especially. Maybe for others, it's very, like I have to keep a track. I have to block everything out, stop all the work, especially for you. And you don't even want to remind me. Right, so it's a very difficult thing. So online free teaching is very hard, especially for me. I don't know, maybe it's easier for you. Offline, what happens is, alhamdulillah, the students come, they show respect and they sit around. So a lot of interaction, you joke and you do a lot of stuff with them. So alhamdulillah, that becomes very pleasurable. Alhamdulillah, you keep asking questions. So offline teaching, there's a lot of inspiration and motivation. Alhamdulillah, especially doing it in the masjid, inshallah, you'll get the reward also. So free should be done offline. Online free is very difficult for you to manage unless it's good for you, maybe. But it has been very hectic for me in doing free for online. So fees should be taken. And fees, you should decide how much you can start out, because starting you need to start it low. Start with low because nobody knows you. You have to start out. There's a lot of struggle in the start, because any business that you're doing takes at least 5 years for you to settle, right? And even after that, you don't know, because this is like this. If all my students go astaghfirullah, I'm gone. Inshallah, it doesn't happen, I hope. Inshallah. But I hope all of the students don't go. But that's the risk, right? That all of my one-on-one students disappear, like tomorrow gone. Inshallah, may Allah forgive all of us. So that's the risk. May Allah protect us, right? What should I do for fees and I should not. I don't want to put a message on YouTube or wherever. Inshallah, unless required. I don't want to ask money. You want to become a donation box, right? Keep asking, keep asking. It should not happen. Alhamdulillah. I mean, there's effort there on YouTube also. By the way, don't run ads. Obviously, the opinion which we take is it's not allowed. Ads on YouTube is not allowed. That's why there's no ads. Inshallah, on my channel, at least till now, we've disabled them because we believe it's you get women, you get music, you can't stop those things. So yeah, so income source on YouTube is also a problem. So you can do two ways. You can become a car which is a cheap car, but mass people buy you, or you can be a quality car, a Mercedes or I don't know, BMW or whatever, and only few people buy. So mass market or quality market, elite market. So I generally focus on the elite market because I've tried low fees. What happens is a lot of quantity of students come. Okay, your fees is low and all that, but there's a lot of headache. They don't attend, they don't show dedication because the fees is so low. They don't care, right? But if I have a high fees and I focus on that, alhamdulillah, it's stress free. They pay you the fees without you asking. They do everything. You get a good quality. They show proper akhlaq. Alhamdulillah. Like I said, there might be free students who might be good also, right? But they need to, I should test them. Message me every time you come. So very few have stood that test. Very few who have stood. So I mean, you should try it out. If you put such a high fees that nobody is coming, then it's a problem. Demand supply, right? The more the demand, the more you can charge. The price you can increase. If your supply is less, you can charge more. Like if you don't have time at all, you can charge more. Okay, I can take $100 per hour also. If you think that's worth it. There's an issue like, oh, this is Islamic studies and how can you charge for that? No, we are teaching Arabic. Alhamdulillah, we can charge for teaching the Quran also because the time. If people didn't charge for these things, how will they survive? Especially for full-time students. There's a call that, oh, you should do a business on your side and you should do, this thing. That's yes, but that is a challenge. It's not for all of us, right? No, many of the Salaf, they used to do business on the side. They used to do this. And then they used to teach, yes, but that was in societies which did not require full-time students, or even if it required, the society was not able to pay or value the scholars as such. Nowadays in cities, especially in a small town where 100-200 people, you're one scholar and you run your agriculture, whatever at the side, alhamdulillah, it's good. You should be self-sufficient, that's true. But full-time students who have to study, there's so few scholars, there's few students of knowledge, and especially, there's hardly anyone teaching Arabic. So what do you do? If you don't do, how do you become good in this? How do you specialize in this? Right? How do you gain experience in this? If you don't do full-time. So it depends on your personality. If you're able to manage, alhamdulillah. I'm not like that. I have to focus on one thing and I'll be able to do only one thing. Right? I cannot think of 10 things and manage this, manage that. I cannot do that. Maybe I can, but I don't want to do that. I want to spend my time teaching, learning, knowledge, and that's what I find. I want to love. So how do I become an expert like that? How do I become good in knowledge if I don't teach and learn and make videos or whatever? Yeah, so ultimately you should not waste your time. If you don't have any students, what you should do, you should focus on teaching free. Alhamdulillah, that's what helped me a lot. If I don't have any students, I say Alhamdulillah, I can read this book. Right? I can read that book, whichever book. Alhamdulillah, I can learn, I can teach my children, I can do adhkar, zikr, read the Quran, memorize the Quran. Alhamdulillah, because students, they leave, they come, they go. Our focus should be on something, gaining knowledge, increasing your skill, right? And don't be fixated on things which are not in your hands. Students, it's not in your hand, right? They keep coming, they keep going. So yeah, alhamdulillah, focus on upskilling. Like what skills can I learn? Can I learn video editing? Can I learn this, that? Little bit, and keep growing, inshallah. And inshallah, your value will be there, that in 1 hour you can charge a lot, right? Because you can say, this is what I've put my life into it. So obviously, this is what, there's a story also. I don't know how true it is. A man came, a machine was a ship or something, a plane. It was this thing. and this guy, a mechanic, came and he just hit one spot, and the plane started running again. So they were like, okay, what's your fees? Oh, it just took you 5 minutes. So he said, well, it's 100,000 rupees or something, 100,000 or some huge amount. So like, what? You just took it 5 minutes? He said, yes. Actually, just for hitting is $10, right? Just for hitting. But the remaining amount, 999 whatever thousand, is for knowing where to hit. And that took a lot of time for me to grow the skill, right? Because not everyone, if you knew where to hit, then you should have hit, no? The knowledge and upskilling and all that took time. Although, I did it in less time. So yeah, you should know, because this freelancing job is like that. Freelancing job, you need to be good in your job and good in teaching and all that, which you think you're good. Obviously, nobody will be satisfied. So either of two things, wherever you're going, you should look, am I getting the experience? Am I getting the passion? Or am I enjoying to teach for free? So you should teach. Alhamdulillah, you're teaching for free, you're getting experience, you're able to teach new books, whichever book, yeah, you're getting experience. But if you don't have these things for experience, you should teach for money, because it's the same book. Like Medina books, if somebody asks me to teach now, if they don't pay me, okay, maybe offline I'll be able to teach, but online without payment, it's very difficult, because I've taught it many times. I'm just bored of it. Yeah, you get bored of it, you become good in it, of course, alhamdulillah, but it doesn't excite you anymore, right? Because you've taught it so many times and so on. If you want to teach some new book, okay, Usul al-Fiqh Waraqat, for example, I would teach it for free, because I've never taught it fully, right? I'll teach for free, okay, take my experience, you're my lab rats, right? I'll just prepare before the class. I've read it, obviously I've studied, but yeah, you see, I need experience. So either teach for experience or for money. Don't teach it for free, because if you don't get anything else, that's very stressful, because you don't have experience. You're not getting experience. You might get experience of being patient, inshallah, but you're not being paid, right? And so it can't run for long term. It's how will it run? Ultimately, your focus should be finishing what you've started. That's what I focus on. Any batch you start, even if you don't have any students, if you're recording those classes, what happens is you can finish the batch. Even if nobody comes, just for the sake of video, I've finished many batches like that. I don't have any student, right? So you should not be worried about things which is not in your hands. Astaghfirullah, I'm speaking a lot. This is the last thing. Yeah, this is the last thing, which is the language. Alhamdulillah, focusing and teaching in English has helped me, because you get students from the developed world, they pay you better, less hassles, from what I've experienced, right? So many of the scholars in India especially are unable to teach online because they have English. Teaching in English is difficult for them. So how do you teach in English or what, right? So they don't get students, because Urdu or any other local language generally is from the developing world. They don't pay you. They are unable to pay because they have life challenges. They are unable to pay their day-to-day expenses. So how will they pay? Correct. So you need to be a lot of outgoing personality also. So ultimately it boils down to this also, I believe. Teaching in online is, if you're teaching in English, alhamdulillah, you get students. I get students mostly in English, because they're more online, they're more from the developed world, they're more on YouTube, right? Even Urdu people might be on YouTube, but the Urdu circles are there. So I don't know, I've tried Urdu students, but Urdu students are unable to pay, because how will they manage expenses? So you have to promote a lot in local languages. Maybe Indonesian, I don't know how the situation is in Indonesia, because I've seen, alhamdulillah, a lot of students learning Arabic and all. The Islamic countries have a different vibe. This is a non-Islamic country, so it might be different, because Muslims are anyways in a minority, and then the different classes and groups inside the Muslim Ummah, and then from those people actually praying Salah and following Islam are very few anyways, and from those who are practicing Islam, who want to learn Arabic, are very few, and from those who will actually stick it out to learn Arabic are then very few. So 1% or less than that. So that's what you're aiming at, especially in maybe in Islamic countries is easier because majority are Muslims, so the number increases, and obviously there's a lot of work done there, especially in Arabic countries, right? So maybe it might be more better, and maybe shifting there might help you. to teach in Arabic, inshallah ta'ala. So this is what I have wanted. It's just an hour. I hope I've spoken only beneficial thing, inshallah ta'ala, and not something waste. Yeah, if you're getting inspired to teach Arabic, yeah, it is a part of challenge. It is a part of, not so easy, especially in non-Muslim countries and other countries where people don't care about Arabic and they don't value. If you were teaching English or something, oh, English teacher and all that, there's a lot of respect, and they'll throw money like you if you're good at teaching English, or if you show them that you are good at teaching English. So because that's the developed world, they want to learn English, and you'll get a lot of students. You'll be very successful, I believe. Although the hard work is there anywhere, but yeah, if you want to focus on teaching Arabic or Islamic studies in general, then these are all the challenges which you will face. So you should take these main decisions and don't think so much. I mean, you might like, oh, how will I teach this? Just start, inshallah, small steps, and have tawakkul of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Inshallah, Allah is the one who guides us. Even though we might have 100 plans and all might fail, right? And ultimately, how can we serve Islam, right? Maybe through teaching, maybe through writing books, publishing, maybe organizing events where scholars come and speak. There's so many things which we can do on our part. There's not one way. So focus on something. Maybe in ibadah, we can focus on ibadah, fasting Mondays and Thursdays and other things. In ibadah, ilm, amal, right? We can focus on learning, seeking knowledge, and other things, inshallah ta'ala. So these are all what I thought. I mean, maybe a little lower explained everything, but I hope you've got an idea, inshallah. If you're watching till now, barakallahu feekum. You've not lost interest. That's a good sign, alhamdulillah. So keep watching, keep learning Arabic, keep teaching Arabic, inshallah, if you're interested to become a teacher, inshallah. It's a very good thing. It's very satisfying, alhamdulillah. Students who were not able to read a sentence or not understand anything, alhamdulillah, they understanding Arabic. You get tears in your eyes, alhamdulillah, that they are able to understand the Quran. And that is what we should focus on, right? The akhirah, inshallah ta'ala, that they understand the Quran and they understand. It's very, very fulfilling, subhanallah, to get a message or to get from someone. Subhanallah, I'm able to understand the Quran, because I remember when I understood the Quran, it was like, wow, it was like, I can't even explain when I'm listening to the Quran and I understand it. So yeah, it's very fulfilling, alhamdulillah. So think about it. You can become an Arabic teacher, but yeah, go slowly, take steps, and don't get into debts, don't take financial wrong decisions, go slowly. Inshallah, help will come from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because this is also from one of the struggles which we have to do, is revival of sciences, revival of Arabic, revival of teaching books, inshallah ta'ala, taking back to the ummah, to the classical literature, Quran, Sunnah, according to the understanding of the Salaf, inshallah ta'ala. That is our goal, to help everyone, inshallah ta'ala. Barakallahu feekum. Jazakallahu Khairan. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Inshallah, seeing you around. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.